Welcome guys, once again welcome to ABFX. So we are going to be having as usual weekly breakdown, and before we have the weekly breakdown, we'll make sure we have a review of the trades we took last week, what went wrong and what went right, so we don't repeat the same mistakes, right? Last week we had a couple of trades, US oil, Gbpjpy, Euro USD, Euro cat as well, and we had about 6 wins in the Telegram channel, had about just one loss and one break even. Overall, we banked about 370 pips and 240 pips on USD card swing trade, right? So if you're not part of the Telegram channel, just check the link in the description section and try to join the Telegram channel. I share free trades, educative content as well, and we also chat. You can ask me any question you want to ask as well, right? As before we go straight into the video, do not forget to subscribe to this channel so you get updates when I post new videos and weekly breakdowns as well, and I will come up with more content that will benefit everyone. All right, so let's go straight into the video. So this is Gbpjpy, one of my favorite currency pairs. Remember, I trade currencies, commodities, and indices as well, right? So looking at JPY, we had a very good trade last there, and the trade we took was on the 1 hour time frame and was a buy trade, right? So what influenced us taking this trade was because we knew that, okay, looking at this, we've come from a very uptrend and we had our recent support level here, and when price reached our support level, we saw this first movement to the upside, didn't take this trade, we had another movement to the downside again, and this formed kind of a double bottom here. So when we saw this double bottom, I was just waiting to see if I can get some bullish confirmations. And once I had this bullish confirmation and engulfing candle here, you can look at it keenly. So once I saw this, I waited for a little push again to the downside, and once I saw this, now I had clear confirmation. Immediately I took in my buy setup here, so the buy, and my target was here, right? Regardless, and my stop loss was somewhere down here, 20 pips thereabout. So we're looking at like 1:5 weeks to reward. So what happened is we had about 80, I think we were running about 80 pips, yeah, about 80 pips, and I just had to close my trade. I told everyone to close that trade because at this point the Fed chairperson Powell was about to speak, giving remarks about interest rate and inflation. So once I saw this, I just asked everyone to close their trade. We closed our trades, and that was when we had this deep dive down, this trade moving to the downside, right? So regardless of this, we still pushed up the downside, giving us that our bias was correct. We are still very bullish, right? So that was that on Gbpjpy. So moving on now to what is going to happen next week, what we are predicting next week. So let's take a look at this. Taking a look at this, you will see clearly that we are still kind of in an uptrend, clearly, right? So what are we expecting in an uptrend? Expecting to see more buys happen, right? So if you're expecting to see more buys to happen, you will start looking at optimizing your entries, seeing where you can get a better entry. So what is market doing here? We can see that we had market move to the upside, breaking this resistance zone. Now it's testing at the support zone. But now something a bit tricky that I want you to take note is that looking at this point here, you will see that price is going to be testing this zone, right? So we had a breakout here, every test here, but now what will confirm your overall buy bias is that price should be able to close above this zone. If we have a close above this zone, then we can take our buy straight to this side, and that is what I'm expecting. I want to see price closing above this zone, then I'll be taking buys to the upside. Regardless, intraday, as the market opens, what I want to see happening for me to get trade, I want to see price pushing up here, closing above here. So with that, if this doesn't happen, then I won't be taking a trade, because taking a trade here, this is a possible target price might reach here. We might still have price for rejecting back to the downside, right? So what I want you to see is that we wait for price to break above this zone, right? If you can get price breaking above this zone, then expecting what now price to push up to the upside, right? So that is very simple what I'm seeing on JPY, very simple as that. So be patient, waiting to see what is going to happen. We fail to get a break here, we might see price what be testing back at this zone. That means we are going to be what in a range, right? We are going to be in a range until we get to see what clear breakout or a clear breakout to the upside. Regardless, I'm still very bullish on Gbpjpy. that is that for Gbpjpy. Our next pair we're looking at was Gbpcad. So looking at Gbpcad, what we had last week, I think we had one trade set up on Gbpcad. That was a buy. Yeah, that was a buy. So I caught up this buy very late. So what influenced my bias in buy is that yes, I already saw this movement to the upside, expecting price to reach here, which it did. Then I knew okay, when price is here, what might happen? There are two things. You either see price breaking above the resistance, or you see price what respecting the resistance and falling to the downside, and that was what happened. So one key thing you need to know is you need to really understand price action. If price is going to break above, is price going to break below, right? So now price respected and we saw what kind of bearish structure being formed. Breakout of here with this, boom, breakout again with this to the downside. Now when we saw price reaching at this zone, I was very patient to see price coming to this zone. When price came to this zone, okay, I kind of saw in 1 hour time frame, right? Kind of saw price playing here, playing out, playing out. I didn't do anything when I saw this, right? Playing out, playing out, playing out. This is a bit tricky because people have tried, okay, so there's a breakout here, let me get a sell to the downside, So I wanted to see a lot of bullish confirmations playing out here. So what is when I saw this candle forming above here, like this bullish candle closing here, what I did is I call forward. I say, okay, this is a good buy to take, and your stop loss will just be what somewhere below here, right? Putting your stop loss somewhere below here, and then you're targeting somewhere. That's what 1 to 2 weeks reward, not bad. So what happened is price came all the way somewhere here, 60 pips there about, and that was when the Paul was about to speak. Immediately I closed all my entries, right? So the trade kind of ended this way. Now, what are we looking forward for the next week, right? Looking at what we are seeing, we are kind of still in an uptrend, creating higher highs, lower highs, right? Now, seeing this on the higher time frame, what is it telling you? Since so what is it telling you on the higher time frame? If you are seeing this, you can start. We just came out from a recent resistance zone breakout of here, right? So what I'm expecting to see is that okay, price should give me some bullish confirmations here. I need to see a daily close bullish here, then our price about to reverse, right? And a breakout of this zone will confirm my buy bias back to this upside. Regardless, we are still in that range. That's what you're seeing, right? So looking at the TTA very carefully again, what do you see? You can see that okay, yes, we've kind of had a very bullish candle here covering all of these. Now what is going to happen? There are two things that have to happen. Either price is breaking below here back to this zone, and to see that and to see a close below this zone, right? So GBP card, I will say be patient, or what I'll be looking more of is to take buys, right? If I'm kind of bullish on GBPJPY, then I'll be bullish on GBP card as well, right? So I'm waiting to see what bullish confirmations here again give me kind of a double bottom, then I'll be taking buys to the upside, right? But take care of this zone, right? I need to see what a close above this zone. My take first take profit will be somewhere here, while second take profit will be here. So going to the 1 hour time frame for entries, right? Because that's where we get our entries from. So you can see clearly what I'm saying, right? We need to see what price closing below here, give me a strong bearish confirmation that we are going back to the downside, or we need to see price when we are closing above here and then we are back here. That will make sure we are going to be trading within this particular range. So that's what I'm looking for on GBP card. My bias is that I'm looking to do buys, and I'm getting buys from this zone. Once you see price give me kind of a double bottom here, then take buys to the upside. So that's that for GBP card. Next pair we have here is Australian. Or I won't talk much on this because I was really expecting to see this price was ranging here. I had expected a breakout. It had a breakout to the downside, and now price is a bit choppy around this zone. I don't like trading choppy markets, right? So we'll skip GP card for now. But should there be an update, I will send it to you guys definitely in the Telegram channel, right? So GBPCHF, the same thing, kind of still choppy, rangy. I've been monitoring you when it was in this range, monitoring how to breakout with there, still didn't take a trade. My all level, what I'm looking for is that is GBP card could trade to this zone, right? Because we are in this range, then I'll be looking for buys at this zone, right? Take care of this zone 1.10800 psychological level price position, then I'll be taking my buys to this zone, and to take the buys for a long period of time, then I'll be expecting to see what price should be able to close above this zone, right? So now that's that for this GBP pairs. And the next pair we have here is Eurocard. Eurocard, we had a very good trade, and it was a trade. So what influenced our decision on this trade was simple, right? we knew we are in this range. So the same similar thing I had on GBP Australian dollar, right? So when ranging here had a break to the upside from what double bottom, double top here, break back to the downside. I knew what we were in this range. So when price reached in this range, I was left for me. I was just waiting for what significant what bullish pressure candlesticks confirmations. And once I saw those candlesticks confirmation, immediately I jumped in here and targeted my first take profit was here. Immediately when that was like 1 to 5 weeks ago, it was a very good trade, right? So right now in GP card, what I'm saying is we are still within that range, right? We are still within that range, still ranging within this particular zone. If I take this my level here, you see that we are still within this zone, right? So yeah, what I'm waiting, I'm going to see what either a break to the downside. So what I'm expecting to see is a break to the downside here, or I will need to see what a break above, right? I really need to see clear a break above before we get into its buys, right? If I can't see that, then I will just hold on with Euro card, then trade the other instruments I have. So that's my outlook on Euro card as well. Overall, Euro card, what do you see overall? Overall, you will notice that we're in an option here, kind of started ranging here, ranging, but kind of we are still overall bullish on Euro card, right? So in all this is what I would teach my target students how to calculate their risk reward and so on, right? So now we'll move on to our next currency, which is US30. Yeah, US30, very good, very volatile. This is an index. So but before we move to US30, I didn't speak about USDJPY. Had a very good trade on USDJPY as well, and I'll be showing you the swing trade I took on USD card. So USDJPY, I knew we were kind of in an option ready, so I was just looking for buys, right? So once you're able to, the first thing I'll tell you is you're able to identify the trend. You know where the market is heading to. You have your zones. You just trade with those zones, right? It makes your work very easy. So now looking at USDJPY, I knew very well that I was in an uptrend, and now once we broke out of this resistance, we're kind of in this range, I was just waiting. I took sales here to the downside. Why I took those sales was very simple, right? So I knew price came here, rejected, and once price came here, I saw this doji for me here and this red candle for me here. Immediately I went for a short, right? So took a short here at my stop loss just below or above this somewhere. I think this was on the 1 hour. It was more optimized below at this thing, and the profit was around 160 pips if I can, yeah, somewhere, yeah, good. And when price came here again, I was looking to see what bullish confirmations, and once I saw that, I went to the lower on the 1 hour time frame, and immediately what I took my trades. That was it. So I had kind of a double bottom for me here, and then this bearish candle, this bullish candle closure, and I went for a buy, right? So that was that for the USDJPY. And this week what I'm looking for is that, okay, we are now here, what next? That's what you should be asking yourself, what next? I'm waiting to see if I can get price closing above this zone. If price can close above this zone, or waiting to see price giving some sell pressure confirmations here, candlesticks confirmation for that matter, then going into my lower time frame 1 hour for my entries, boom, then I'll be getting what sells again to the downside, right? So that will be very simple. We are still within this range, so we'll get a clear breakout or a clear to the upside or to the downside. Yeah, so moving on to USD card. USD card, pretty simple. I was trading on the higher time frame because it was a swing trade. So on the 4 hour, on the daily time frame, what I noticed that, okay, on USD card, we were kind of okay. We were trading within this range, and we came here, we formed a double bottom. So once I saw this double bottom, okay, I was waiting for price to do what, close out of this neckline. So once I had a break out of this neckline, okay, I knew where was the next target price we'll be heading to. This is a target, right? Once I saw price that this is the next resistance price is heading to, okay, I sent it to my Telegram channel. I told them, okay guys, just hold on, we have a swing trade here. This is going to be a swing trade on USD card, so targeting about 238 pips, and we're risking about 56 pips for a swing trade. Very good setup, right? 1:4 risk reward, and it took some couple of days, then finally hit TP on USD card, right? That was that for USD card. So moving on to US30. US30 has been quite volatile, and I would say if you don't understand how to trade this indices. Avoid them. They are very volatile and they can take your money away from you. Right. So US30, you can see that based on what I've done here, we are kind of what a bullish structure, right? Having what creating higher highs, lower highs, higher highs, lower highs, and so on. Right now, price has done this. Or if you know how to read channels, you see that we created what we are here forming this. From here, we move on here. From here, yeah. And what we're expecting for price to continue to the upside, right? Now, I want to say something about the fundamentals that what we released last week, right? We noticed Powell spoke about interest rates, and I just read through, and what I saw is that yeah, there he sounded very hawkish. They might be increasing interest rates, maybe hiking rate in a couple of months to come, right? And what does that tell you? If they are increasing interest rate, then we're expecting what the stocks to fall, right? So be very careful as you're trading this moment, very sensitive moment for US30. But right now we are still very bullish on US30, but we don't expect the hike, the interest rates to go up anytime soon, but we're expecting definitely to have some hikes in rate. But right now you can still be scalping, taking your buys, your buys 100 pips, 200 pips, and so on, right? But pay attention to the fundamentals on interest rates, right? Because inflation here, we can see that core inflation came out a bit lower. PPI came out a bit lower, telling us that what inflation is a bit is already going down. But the overall target of the Fed is to see that inflation goes to 2%, but we are not yet there. So just the past 2 months we had core inflation coming out down, and core inflation is inflation excluding food, volatile food prices and energy prices, right? So let's just see how inflation data keeps printing for the coming month, then you can determine what will happen the month of November. If we're going to have an increase in interest rates, that means we expect stocks to fall again, right? So with that understanding, what are we expecting this week, right? I'm bullish now on US30. So I'm expecting price to actually move to the upside again based on structural technicals I'm seeing here. But fundamentals we still have to play a lot more, right? So moving on to the 4 hours. What do you see on the 4 hours? You can see clearly on the 4 hours that okay, right, price now came out. Price now had to break below this below this support level here, but what overall it had to close above, right? And that was when Fed chairperson Paul was reading his was talking, right? So sounded very hawkish, and price came down, and not so sure about what's going to happen. Price went back up, right? You can see now what I'm expecting is that okay, I want to see price close above 34,400. I want to see a closure above 34,400, then it's going to confirm my buys to this upside, right? So if I can get a close above 34,400, I'll be taking buys. But if I keep getting bearish prints, then price might be heading back to the downside, right? So that's just what very simple I'm going to be looking at US30. No so much to do there, just waiting to see how price is going to react within this level, right? So as you can see, price already printing red candles here. So well, just pay attention as to what is going to happen. If you can get continuations, then waiting to get buys at this level, because right now it's a bit tricky to trade at this zone. I want to see a closure above here, or price come to close below here, and then I'll get sales to the downside, right? I'm going to be dropping a video on how to trade US30 specifically with fundamentals, understanding fundamentals and applying it pretty soon, right? So we move on to US oil, which is going to be the last pair we're looking for. So US oil had a very good trade there last week. We got about 120 pips on US oil. So I've been monitoring it for some time. I knew we were in an option. We came now, started testing this zone. So what I was just simply waiting for was that price should close above this support that tends to resist. And once I saw this closure here, it was definitely sure for me to take my trade. So I went on the 1 hour. Me, as I saw this closure here, I saw okay breakout with test, and I call for the trade. You can check the telegram, you see the trade there, I call it, and I put my stop loss somewhere below here. I think it was 30 35 pips there about. Then I was targeting my first stop for here, which was like a hit 1.78 and so on. Then last step profit was here. So what I was expecting was price to actually hit here, but when I saw about the news time, I had to close all my trades, right? So I closed my trade somewhere here with about 120 pips. Yeah, that was yeah. Then price came back there, but you can see clearly that we are still overall bullish on US oil, right? Because price had to do what? Price still came here, finally what went above, finally shoot back to the upside. And my overall expectation on US oil is I'm waiting to see US oil coming back to this level 83.26, right? Pay attention that US oil is also backed a lot by fundamentals, right? So understanding what the oil market is doing and so on, the energy sector is doing and so on. So we're able to trade this type of instrument, right? So let's see how it goes. So I'm waiting to see what a closure above here and then continue my buys. Or if the price come here, give me reactions here and then, or I'll take my buy. So that's that for this week outlook. So if you want me to make a breakdown on a specific pair, feel free to comment in the section, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on the notification bell if I drop any other video. And as I said, join the free Telegram community to get what good setups, right? Free signals of 100, 200 pips and so on, right? So I will see you again next week. Thank you.